Hello, and welcome back. I'm Pina, and guess what, guys? I am not that mom. And it is another amazing episode of Not That Mom because it's July and summer is here, and that means summer travel, and that means school is out, and that means fun. So I thought I'd call up my buddy Shane and be like, dude, what you doing? What's going on? Want to do a podcast together? Shane, what do you think?
I said absolutely. Let's do that. Nothing more fun than doing a podcast with you.
Right? And I've been wanting to do a podcast with you for a long time because I'm like, you know what? Summertime travel is huge for me. I've been doing the Chic Mama Ontario summer travel road trip stuff for how many years has it been, Shane?
It's been over 5 years since we've been talking, Pina.
Right?
It's been a
So
while.
I've been traveling all over my beautiful province of Ontario, which I like to call home, and checking out different destinations and resorts and making the most of summer because summer goes by in a blink of an eye. We're lucky if we get 2 full months. I don't wanna talk about it. I don't wanna think about it, but it's the reality, and who better to talk about it than Shane Bage. So, Shane,
Yes, Pina.
w where do you work? What do you do?
I,
Because you kinda know a
I
little bit about this stuff, right?
yeah, I've been around. I know a little bit about this stuff. I work for Resorts of Ontario, who we've collaborated with several times, and I'm a marketing communications manager here. So I love nothing more than talking about resorts, experiences, places I've been to, and I just love sharing the stories and the history that these resorts have that are members of ours.
So it's a lot of fun, but the best part is that, yeah, you do that. That's your job. But first and foremost, we're buddies, we're friends, and this is a passion we both share, right? So I was like, okay,
Yes.
school's out, summer is here, it's July. I feel like I don't want to say it, but like
Oh,
the month is already half gone. Like
not yet, not
pretty
yet.
much, like we're almost there. Listen, in
Come
5
on, look
minutes
at the
it's gonna be
glass half
gone.
full here.
So but, like, as parents, I know I get it, right? But as parents, I feel like you need to be on top of this stuff, and we wanna make the most with our kids. I've got 3 kids. Shane doesn't have 3 kids. Do
No, I've
you?
got a few more than you. Just a few.
4?
A
5?
little bit more. A little bit more.
6, 7, 8?
Getting closer.
9. You got 9 kids,
There,
don't you?
there we are. I do. I do have 9 kids.
Like, how hard is it, Shane? Like, as parents, it is not easy to, make the time to enjoy summer, spend it
Mhm.
with our kids, make these memories. Like, my kids, their age ranges from Marcus being my youngest at 9, almost 10, Samantha, who just turned 14, Lily's right in the middle at 12. What
Yeah,
about your kids? Because you got 9 of them. That's a
I do.
bigger gap, right?
There's a bigger gap.
Or I
I
should
got a
say
few
age
more.
range.
Yeah, there's a few around close to your kids' ages, but my oldest is 22 and the youngest is 2. So it is that age-old question. Now that it's summertime, what do you do to keep them all busy that everybody's having fun to and try to include everyone, right? And that's my challenge.
Right? Okay, so how many times have you heard it's like this famous like saying and it haunts me every summer. It's like if you're lucky, you're only going to get 18 summers with your kids. And that like scares the living daylights out of me.
Yeah.
And it freaks me out because I'm like I don't want it to end and I want to make the most of all of this time with my kids. So you've got some experience on that. Is it your oldest is 22. So would you say that that's pretty accurate?
It is pretty accurate because, a couple years ago, it was nice because we went away to the Long Beach resort in Waynfleet there that I know you're familiar with, and we had the opportunity to
Yes.
take everybody there. This was just after COVID when the world opened up, and it was just like, this is probably the last vacation that I'm gonna be able to take with all of my kids here before they start their careers, before they start their lives, so it was very special to us to be able to to share that memory. Although the 2-year-old wasn't around then at that time, but you know, he was there in spirit. But you know, we just have to, and for us, it's just trying to make it fair for all of our kids to give them the younger ones the same experience the older ones have gotten over the years, right? So
right?
just yeah,
And maybe the second one was being made while you were there.
you never know.
Guys, my mind is always going there, right? But I love that you mentioned Long Beach because Long Beach is one of my favorite places to visit in beautiful Waynfleet, Ontario, which is maybe at most a 2-hour car ride from where I'm located
Yeah.
in Ontario. And it is closer to the, would you say Niagara region?
It is in the
It's
Niagara
closer to
region,
Niagara.
just a bit west of Niagara, right on what is that? It's not Lake Huron, it's
Lake Erie.
oh
No,
gosh,
it's
Lake
Lake
Erie.
Erie.
Yes.
Yeah, and I will tell you that that is my most favorite lake. If you are listening and you are not here in Ontario, but maybe somewhere else in Canada or the US or anywhere else, I will tell you that if you are going to visit any of the Great Lakes in the summer, you want it to be Lake Erie because no, Shane,
It's
honestly,
it
like,
gets hotter way
is it
faster
not the
than
best
anywhere else.
lake?
It is the best lake, it gets hotter way faster than anywhere else. I live near Georgian Bay. Georgian Bay takes till August to warm up.
Oh, cold.
And then if you go towards even up the Bruce Peninsula, Lake Huron side, that's even colder, like, you're lucky if it warms up in September, so I yeah, I mean, that was one of the first thing my kids said when they walked in the water there, they're like, "It's really warm."
What? It is so and okay, so that's the number one thing. Parents listening, if you wanna do a vacation and you wanna be somewhere by a lake, Lake Erie is the place to be because the water is like, crystal clear. It is warm and it's shallow, so it's perfect for the little teeny tiny ones because you can walk out pretty far and only be, like, knees deep. And guys, I'm
Yes.
short, so, like, that says a lot, okay, if it only goes knees deep on me. But
It's
that is
very
a
similar.
great
I was just gonna say it's very similar to Sauble Beach where you can keep walking out and out and out. But again, that's on the Lake Huron side, so it's not I think the other side is about 10 degrees warmer at least.
see, and Sauble Beach, I've never been. That has to be a
Really?
destination for me. Yes, I need to
You need
hit
to
that
go.
up. I've it's not been a stop on the Chic Mama Ontario summer travel, so I
We will
need
make
to
it
do
happen.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? This is
We'll
what I
make it
love about you
happen.
because not only are you my buddy, but you know all the places and you're like, "What do you want, Pina? What do you want? Where do you wanna go? Let's do it." So, this is the thing. First off, I've gotta say, and Shane, I know you're with me on this, but we've got the most beautiful Canadian summers. The
Yes.
most beautiful Canadian so why do people wanna get on a plane and fly out of beautiful Canada, more specifically Ontario if you're here, to
Mhm.
go somewhere else? Like,
It's
we
right here.
get
Sure.
it's the best. It's the absolute best. And so, number 1, you don't need to jump on a plane. You can jump in a car and get to
Yes.
some awesome destinations within an hour to sometimes a little bit longer, depending. And it doesn't matter what direction you go in. So
No.
I want to talk about some cool places to go because the other thing too is that as busy parents, Shane, would you say you're busy with 9 kids?
A
Working
little
full
bit.
time,
Working full time, we're the baseball family like you are. We have baseball games galore, so we're beyond busy.
right?
And we need to
It's
make the
busy.
most
Do
of
you
these 18 summers that we have before life
right?
gets busier.
No, like I'm gonna start crying I'm gonna start crying in this episode. Guaranteed at some point I'm gonna start
Uh-oh.
crying because I'm gonna be like, no.
Uh-oh.
But do you have like let's talk realistically here, parent to parent. Do you have like just like, oh yeah, you know what? Especially in this day and age, 2025. Oh, I can easily take a week off of work and send my family somewhere, no problem. Is that easy for you? Because it's not easy
Oh,
for
g
me.
oh gosh, no. Not with the cost of everything in the world, first of all, but then second of all, just to have that time, like, yeah, besides the work demands and the demands of kids' sports, that's not easy to do, so, it's always nice to be able to
Yeah.
find a place you can go to for a couple nights or just one overnight or even just some day trips. And, there's lots of opportunity to do that. I think that are not far from, well, I'm further north of you, but not far from the city to do. So,
Right? So,
yeah.
let's talk about some of our favorites. We mentioned Long Beach Resort, number 1, um, in Waynflete, Ontario, on beautiful Lake
Yes.
Erie, which one thing I do also wanna talk about that place is that if you're looking for a place where you're like, "Listen, I wanna be able to bring my own food so I can cut costs there
Mhm.
and not have to eat out," there would you call them, like it's like they're like little condos.
Yeah, there are little condos. They call them American Plan Resorts in our business, so that way you have the ability to, again, to take your own food, make your own meals, because sometimes, and some people I've worked with and some guests that I've worked with over the years said, "I want that. We're bringing the whole family together. I'm looking for a cottage where I can bring 3 and 4 generations together, but we wanna be able to have a kitchen where we can cook a big meal, where we can have that family fun. Everybody
Yeah.
throws their hands in, everybody's in the kitchen, just that kind of fun, and they really love doing that, and those are the memories that they like to hold and pass on to their kids. So, oftentimes it's like, where can we go to do that? Naturally, not to plug my business, but, Resorts of Ontario is a good resource, but it's true, there are a lot of options that they have. Like, one of my favorite places is, Elmhurst Resort in the Kawarthas, right on,
I've never been there.
you've never been there, Pina? Oh my goodness.
No,
It's
but I
right.
love the Kawarthas, and
Yeah.
I've been in that area, but not there. Okay, tell me, I wanna know. Give me the
You
scoop, come
know,
on.
if I will say, when I think the very first time that I had COVID, before I really knew COVID was a thing, I actually was there for business, not for pleasure. And I always heard about the food there. They have a 200-acre farm. They raise their own cattle. They grow their
Ooh.
own veggies. They have lots of stuff that they're going on there, and I always heard the food was incredible. And mind you, so the first night I was there, I was feeling like complete garbage. I did not feel great at all. But I will tell you, when they started serving the food, because we all sat down together as a big family, a big resort family, we are all sitting
Yeah.
down together, about 15 of us at a table, and they brought out roasted red pepper soup, and I'm just kinda like, "I don't really feel like soup, I'm not really," but as soon as I ate it, I was just like, "Oh my god, this is amazing."
So
And
good.
they brought out was so unbelievably delicious. And at the end of the night, there was some fresh cooked meat there that came, and it was so good. And I'm looking at the plate, and the
Mm.
owner of the resort goes, "Come on, I know you can do it." And I'm like, "I don't feel great right now, but, like, I can't let that go to waste." So I jumped in and finished it off, and, oh, it was I will tell you, Pina, if you've never been there, the food is, you wouldn't believe where the food, like, if you this is probably one of the best places you'll ever experience, like, a fresh farm to table
Ooh.
meal. It is outstanding.
Okay, I love that because we have amazing produce here in Ontario, and I think more than ever now, it's all about supporting local, shopping local, these family-owned, resorts, destinations passed on
Yeah.
generation to generation.
Yeah.
It's like, for me, it's all about that support, and farm to table, I am so down for, and that's why I wanted you on here because I'm like, if anyone has their finger on the pulse of Ontario travel, destinations, parents, this is your guy, right? Like, so okay, they're on my list. Okay. So I got them. So
Mm.
where else? You know what? We both recently came back from places. We should talk about
We
that.
did. We did. I was gonna ask you, I saw
So
Fern has a new, like, gyro thing in the water that you can take on a boat. It just spins around. Did you try that? Did you
no,
see
I
that
did
there?
not. Yes, I
Ah.
did. So, what Shane is talking about is my most recent trip and what I it was to kick off the Chic Mama Ontario summer travel, and it was to Fern Resort. And I have been working with Fern for like 7 years, and it has become a family tradition of ours to go. This year marks the 130th anniversary. They're in their 4th generation, passed down
Yes.
family to
Yes.
family, right? So right now, Mark Downey is the owner, the man in charge, but he's got three incredible daughters. Let's see if I can remember. We've got Bella, we've got Erica, and we've got Alexis.
Yes.
And did I get them all right?
You did get him
They're
right.
3 gorgeous they're 3 gorgeous daughters, and I will tell you that he is grooming his girls to take over Fern Resort, teaching them the ropes, and you walk around that place, and
Oh, yeah.
it is absolutely stunning. We're talking about 2 pools, water slide, diving board, overlooking Lake Couchiching in beautiful Orillia, Ontario. You've got it's Ontario's all inclusive, which means just like we were talking about, sometimes you want to cook your own meals. Then there are times where you're like, I don't want to lift a finger. I don't want to cook. I want it all done for me because I want this to be a real vacation. I want a break. And I don't want to wash a dish either afterwards, right? So I want to sit down,
Nope.
eat some amazing home cooked meals, enjoy with my family, and know that everything is included from meals to entertainment. And that includes stuff like fishing, kayaking, pedal boats, paddle boards, tennis, pickleball, batting cages, climbing walls, archery, axe throwing, water skiing. You can do water skiing lessons. That is an extra fee, but trust me, if you're going to learn to water ski, you're going to want to do it there because they are a family
Yes.
of water skiers. Actually, did you know that Mark Downey was on the Canadian water ski team up until like last year?
I did know that. That's what I was gonna say. If that's the one place to learn it, he's the guy to learn it from. Like, they train a lot, and their waters it's incredible what he does. I'm like, "How do you have time for all this, Mark?"
Right? Okay, so every Sunday night, they also do this water ski show for all the guests. And Mark is a part of the water ski show with 2 of his daughters. Did they not do a pyramid, like, on water skis? Like, there was, like, what was it, 4 guys on the bottom or 3 and
I
then
think that's
2
about
girls up top?
yeah.
How do
That's
you do
insane, eh?
that?
That's wild. On the water.
So Mark it was Mark and one of his daughters in that. So they do that. They do, like, painting classes. I just saw that this past week they now introduce Pilates reformer classes there. All of this is included, not including I should say it's included, but I should also mention nightly entertainment.
Yes.
So anything from like concerts to magicians, mind readers, comedians and improv nights, silent
Mhm.
disco. Like so literally Fern is your place to go if you don't want to lift a finger, you don't want to think, and you're like, okay, the kids are mini golfing, great. They're on the trampoline now. Now they're like doing slip and slides, or if you've got teeny tiny ones like Shane that are 2, and parents, you want your own time and you want to experience that amazing terrace bar with bartender Lou, then you drop your kids off at the play village.
That's right.
Have you done that, Shane?
And I have, and the cool thing about Fern is there's so much to do there that you don't even have to leave. Like, there's so many activities that you don't wanna leave the resort because I know sometimes we find when we go to the resort or you go to a hotel, it's like, what else is there to do in the area? And I always find when we go to Fern,
It's true.
I'm like, "What am I gonna be able to do, and what am I not gonna be able to do before I leave? I need to really prioritize my priorities here of what I wanna experience on this trip."
Yeah, like,
So
one of the things that I couldn't believe that they had, what they offer all the time, is paintball, and that doesn't cost any extra, that's just included. We were having so much fun playing basketball on the courts there. They have
yeah.
bocce, they have, human chess and checkers. Listen, I could go on for you'd think that they were like I was like their spokesperson, which with the way that I'm talking about them, and I'm not. It is literally just one of my favorite, like, Ontario summer traditions,
Well,
and
and
it's
there's
so
so many
nice that it's
memories,
like
right?
a family place, right?
It is. It does feel like you're part of the family when you're there, and that's what it's all about, right? These core memories that you're gonna have with you for a lifetime. Your kids are gonna have with you for a lifetime. And you know what? When your kids are having their own families, they maybe even take their families there to be able to do second and third generation, right? Like, that's what I love about these resorts and the rich history, how you really like, when you come to these places, you really feel like you're part of the family, They really make you
right?
feel so welcome. The hospitality
It's
is
so true.
out of this world, out of this world. And you
No,
you would never
absolutely,
get
and
that going to, like, a Holiday Inn or, like, a chain hotel like that. You would never get that same, not even close. If you've never been to a
no.
resort like that, like, you really have to, like, I highly recommend going to check one out.
Right? And I'm glad you said that you can go like, it's generation after generation. So, as we were sitting there one night for dinner, there was the table next to us, and what I love is that every time you go in for breakfast, lunch, dinner, you're always seated at the same table. And so
Yes.
the table next to us, we always saw the same family, and they were from Buffalo, New York. And the mom, because she had this little girl, and her name was Alyssa, and she was 2
How
years
cute.
old, and Alyssa wanted to come over to talk to our girls, like the big girls, right? And she was just like infatuated with them. And so I started talking to the parents, and the mom was saying that her family has been visiting Fern for something like over 35, 36, something between 34, 37 years. So since she was a kid and she was sitting at the table
Incredible.
with her parents, she's there with her husband, the daughter, and she's like, and we've just been coming like nonstop every year. It's a 4-hour drive from Buffalo, and we just
Yeah, that's
love
so
it.
fun.
And there's so many beautiful stories like that. Some families have been visiting for 50 years.
Yes. Yep.
I wanna be one of those families.
And I
I'm
think that they
7
do,
years
like
in, but I can do it.
and I think Fern also does, like, where I just recently was at Bayview Wildwood Resort, is they do
Oh,
the
another one.
celebrations when the families come and visit. It's just like, "Hey, we wanna welcome the Jones family that came here. They're on their 25th year," or whatever like that. Like, is that not like, when you sit there and listen to the history of these families that have been coming for the years, it's just like, it just blows your mind.
Right? So
Blows
let's
my
talk
mind.
about Bayview because I've also been to Bayview Wildwood, which is in the Muskokas,
That is
and
right.
there are so many families that keep returning, and again, it's a family-owned resort, which I love. So, tell me
It
about
is.
your recent visit there.
It was great. I mean, like, we had, I guess what, a typical Ontario day. We had 4 seasons in a weekend, I guess, right? So, I don't know when you were away, the heavens opened up, but it's always fun. I love watching a good storm over the water and sitting right there in the cottage
Yes.
overlooking Sparrow Lake. I'm like, "This is incredible." But at the same time, when the kids are getting itchy, like, what do you do? Like, I took them to the indoor playground. Have you taken your kids there when you went there, the indoor
Yes.
playground? Such a
Yes,
great
we did
time.
and indoor pool, which is nice
Yes.
because if weather is not that best and it's not cooperating, it's not
No.
like your trip, those few days that you booked off and you pray and you're like, "Please
Yeah.
let it be good because I wanna make these memories with my kids." If you can't be out on the lake or you can't be at the outdoor pool, which both are stunning and beautiful, and I wish everyone the best of weather luck when you
Of
travel this
course.
summer, but there is an amazing yeah, right, cross those fingers, toes, everything, but there's an
Yeah,
amazing indoor pool as well, and the
there is.
indoor playground.
And it was nice to be able to do while the weather was not favorable, but guess what? After the storm blew over, it came back out on Sunday. Amazing day. Out on the
I
water
know.
trampoline, playing on the water slide. Kids spend hours there. They just love it, and it's just such fun just sitting back and, hey, I get to put my feet up and put my toes in the sand while I watch them have fun.
But that's the best, like, I find Shane, is that not, like, the best feeling ever? You're there, you're chilling, you're looking out onto, Sparrow Lake, and the
Yes.
guys, they have this ridiculous, huge water trampoline structure, and the
Massive.
best part is that it's not just the kids out there.
Oh,
You
no,
see
there's
the
adults out
parents
there.
out there too, and they're climbing this thing, and they're falling off, and they're just making the best memories,
That was me.
and that's what right?
It's so much
But, like,
fun.
how
Like,
fun I I think it's the parents having more of a blast out there on the water
uh,
trampoline than the kids.
absolutely. Yeah. But then there's a time
It's
I get to sit back and put my feet up and let them play, but at the same time, going out there and, making an ass of myself, but you know what? Just having fun, that's what it's all about, and just playing with the kids and, yeah, just spending that quality family time,
yeah.
where we're outside and kids aren't behind the screens, and that's what you're gonna remember, those that quality time.
I love it because for real, it's I've never had the kids say to me like, "Oh, can I go back to the room and I want like, a device." I'm like, it doesn't even come up. They're outside. They're going, you know what I mean? Like, depending where we're at, going down a water slide, jumping in the lake, in a kayak, on a,
Right.
water trampoline, structure. They are having so much fun and they are out there until the very last second that they can be out there that I'm like, "Guys, it's dinner time." And we bring it on in. We gotta
"No, we don't
go,
wanna go in for
right?
dinner, we wanna stay out
Um,
here."
so I love that.
Yeah. No,
Right,
it's
but
great.
at
It's
these are the moments, right?
Those are the moments we live for, and these are the
So,
moments
okay,
we
so we spoke a little right?
absolutely.
Yeah, it's true, like, these are the moments that we live for and the moments that we wanna make and the memories we wanna make with our kids, right? But we still wanna enjoy these, you know, breaks that we get because like I said, summer's so short, right? So we wanna make the most of all of it. So, okay, so we spoke about 2 places that we recently visited.
Yes.
What else? Where else is a really cool place for any parent that's like, "You know what? I can only get a few days. I wanna bring my kids somewhere. I wanna enjoy as a parent too." Where where else can they go? Shane, what do
If
you
you're
got for
looking for
me? Help me out.
places for kids, there's, Horseshoe's Resort's another great one, and I think you've been there, a few years ago at least
Love
when they built
it.
Lake Horseshoe. I was there recently, and I drove by Lake Horseshoe, and I'm not gonna lie, I was golfing there. It might have been for work, but I was golfing, and it was about 35 degrees out last Monday. I was sweating, and I'm driving by, going to the next hole, looking at
Ooh.
Lake Horseshoe, going, "You know what? That looks refreshing right now." And I really should have
Yeah.
jumped in, but my team was trying to keep the pace of play going, so I had to stick with it, but I definitely I took a dip in the Lake Horseshoe right after the golf tournament.
It honestly, Lake Horseshoe, and I'll tell you, Horseshoe Resort, I have been that's another spot that I try to hit up every single summer because the kids and I love it. Because they have the lake, Lake Horseshoe, which, they also do tube rides there, and let me tell you, Shane, one year they had this massive hot dog you could ride across Lake Horseshoe, and it was the best. It was the best, and I remember going like, I flew right off that thing because the kids instructed the person, like, manning it to, like they're like, "Just go full force on my mom, right? And just whip that thing around." And it was, right at that split second where I was trying to adjust my grip on it, on the handle. I think I did, like, a backwards, like, quadruple salt. And we laughed, and it was amazing. But the other thing about Horseshoe Resort that I love is that if you can't get away for the summer, and I know we're talking summer travel, but it is open all year round because you can
Mhm.
also go skiing and snowboarding in the winter. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say about winter, okay, because we're focusing on summer, but I just wanted to sneak that in. But they've also have the outdoor pool. They have an indoor pool again, so it gives you parents some options if weather's not cooperating. Um, they've got I'm gonna go on record and say the best mini golf outdoor course. Have you played their mini golf course?
I have played it. It's been several years I played it. Yeah, it's a beautiful course. Beautiful course. The other one that I think about, did
It
you
is
try
so pretty.
it's very pretty. There's a natural grass one at, Georgian Bay Hotel in Collingwood. Did you ever try that one?
No.
They they
Okay, tell me.
man
Okay,
they
go.
maintain
Tell me about
real
this
grass,
one.
a short 9-hole course, which is, it's okay for many, but of course we like 18. It's a short 9-hole course with real grass. Almost like makes you think you're playing on a real golf course, which is awesome. Very cool.
Oh my okay, so tell me more about Georgian Bay.
Yeah,
What do I
they're
need
right
to
in
know?
they're just what do you need to know? You need to go there if you haven't been there, first of all. Again,
It's no BS. No BS with Shane. You haven't been,
no
P? You
BS.
need to go. Okay. Okay, I need to go. I love
They've got
it.
a beautiful outdoor pool. They're just at the edge of Collingwood, just on the edge, so you're close to all the amenities in Collingwood. You've got lots of stuff to do to the resort. There's a beautiful restaurant on site. They've got a spa there. But, the main thing is you're right there in Collingwood, right near Georgian Bay too. So not only can you play mini putt, but there's so much to see and do in the area. You wanna go rock climbing? The mountain's right there. You're 10 minutes from going to go
I
hiking. You wanna
know.
go to scenic caves or you wanna go to the Blue Mountain Village and see what's happening there. Again, there's always stuff happening there
Mm,
all year round, but it's a great spot that I can't believe I haven't sent you there yet. Like, I'm still wondering
no.
why we haven't gone there.
No, for real, because there is so much, and that's one of the beautiful things about Collingwood is that there is so much to see and do, and like you said, you can go to Blue Mountain Village and get yourself a beaver tail. Who doesn't want a beaver tail, right?
That's
That.
right.
Maybe go to Fire Hall Pizza, grab yourself some yummy pizza,
But
and
even
parents.
new
Oh,
even new, have you seen
tell
they built a
me?
Summit restaurant? There's a restaurant at the very top of the hill, that's overlooking the village, overlooking
No.
Collingwood. It's called Summit View, I believe. I could be wrong. Blue Mountain, if you're listening, don't hold me to that. It's something like on the Summit View. Don't quote me on that, but there is a restaurant there that you can take the gondola up to the top and, go have a drink, go have some food, have a beaver tail up there if you want, but, like, it's
Oh my god.
stunning,
Mm.
stunning. Sounds like you need to
You know
take
what
another road
else?
trip.
Yeah, I no, I'm full of road trips. It's my most favorite thing to do. You pack up the F-150. I'm like, "Kids, let's go." They know the drill now. They know the drill. It's like, "Guys, we got everything? Let's go. And if we forget something, oh well, it is not going to make or break our amazing time that we are going to have." One of the
That's
things I
right.
gotta say too is for any avid golfers, that would be a great place to go because Collingwood is also and Blue Mountain is also the home of Montera Golf Course, which I had the pleasure of checking out with you one year, Shane,
Yes, we
and
did, and it was
that's
very hot that day
stunning.
too. They
That
seem to have golf tournaments on 35-degree weather, so,
and that was October. That was early
that was
October, like a few
October
years
2nd.
ago.
Yeah, a few years ago, that was fun. Montero is a
Yes.
beautiful golf course.
Oh my god. Okay,
Beautiful.
so
Hey,
I love
another
that you
stunning
also
golf course.
mentioned, Collingwood. Tell
Yes,
me.
it's one of my favorite. Collingwood's one of my f it's close to my heart, mainly because I live close to there, but I love that. I love where I live. I love you got the beach, you got the ski hill, you got everything right there. But, speaking of golf courses and where I am right now, I'm actually at Hockley Valley. If you haven't seen that
Ooh.
golf course is full of hills, up and down. It is like another golf experience. Like there's so many that we have here in Ontario. So many of the resorts, a lot of these resorts have golf courses, or if they don't, there's some nearby that there's some incredible. So again, for the
It's so
golfers out there,
true.
there's lots of options right here in our backyard.
And you know what? Hockley is a little closer to the GTA too, so if you're not looking to go a little bit too far, you can go and you can even do a day trip there. And if any of you guys like wine, don't forget because they also have Adamo Wineries just down the road, which is part of the resort. So I love that as well, and their food there is
Beautiful.
awesome. So yeah, I
Hey, I
like
forgot
that.
to tell you about. I think I
Tell
forgot to
me,
tell you about
is it about food?
food and wine.
Ooh,
How's that?
I love it. Give it.
In Prince Edward County, there's a new, property that just
Oh,
opened, that just joined the Resorts of Ontario family, but there's, the inn at Huff Estates. So Huff Estate Winery has this beautiful vineyard there. They grow their own wine, make their own wine, and let me tell you, if you haven't tried that wine, it's amazing. And
oh, I like
they
this.
built this 21-room inn, and if you look at it, like, from a bird's eye view, the building's actually in the shape of an H.
For
So
real?
for real, it's really cool. So,
That is
when
so cool.
and they have this cool, like, in the garden, when I was there, this, little art walk, I guess, with different sculptures on the property from local artists. So not only can you sip wine and
Oh,
walk
that's
around and drink, but
awesome.
if you're looking for somewhere to go with your significant other or girls' getaway weekend, like, it's another
I like
one on the
that.
list another one on my Pina list that I need to send you to.
Yes, send me on a girls trip. Send me on like an adults only as well. Like for all you single parents, you know those weekends you don't have the kids, but you and your significant other want to go somewhere. A lot of these places also are awesome for adults travel. And if we're going east and you're mentioning Prince Edward County, let's also talk about Kingston because I have one of my favorite places to visit there, and that is
Yes.
the Frontenac Club. Which
Very cool.
was okay, I love the most random pieces of info, right? Shane,
Yes.
I think you know this one, but for those of you guys listening, the Frontenac Club is also a boutique type of hotel in Kingston, and it was the very first Bank of Montreal in
Yes.
Ontario. So they transformed it, and part of it too is also an old farmhouse, but if you go and dine in their restaurant, there is a private room which used to be the safe from the bank. And it's like, it is so cool. The food is ridiculous. You have a sommelier there, and you also
Mhm.
have a mixologist. So, what I loved was I did a girls' trip there. Okay, sorry, we're taking a break from the kids for a sec. We need
All
to.
good.
But I did a girls' trip there, and honestly, it was like I had the mixologist on one side of me, the sommelier on the other side, and I was just like, "Okay, sure, you wanna give me a mixed drink? I'll take whatever you wanna give me. Oh, you suggest this wine? Sure." And they paired it up with every dish, and all I did was drink and eat, and I had the best time, but it's absolutely stunning, and how many rooms do you remember how many rooms they have? It's not a lot.
No, I think there's around 20 rooms, I think, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around there. Somewhere in that
But
ballpark, yeah.
what I love about that spot is that each room has a different theme. So there's one which is like all locomotives. And so you go in and like all the artwork, everything is to that theme. And I'll never forget that there was room 102. And for those of you guys that know a little bit of my background, I used to work at 102.1 The Edge for years. I was the head of marketing and promotions there. I was this is where I plug myself, okay, guys, because I'm a little proud about this, but I was the very first female under course ownership to hold that title and the youngest to hold that title. So I was like, I need to see what room 102 is like. And it was all music themed. And it was all Kingston music. So you
Oh,
had
wow.
Tragically Hip stuff in there, you had Bryan Adams stuff in there, you had oh, there's a band that's not coming to me right now.
I'm trying to think of other bands from Kingston
Oh,
too.
this is gonna bother me, but basically, you walked in there and they had all music memorabilia, and it was
That's
amazing,
amazing.
and I'm like, "Wow." They had one room that was all done up with Aboriginal art, and it was absolutely stunning. So that's my Pina's Kingston recommendation, the Frontenac Club. Food, wine, drinks, art, and an
Music.
amazing time. Oh, totally, totally. Okay, so we got some east. We did a little bit of south. We did a little north. What else do you got for me? Help me out here.
Do you know what? And for like a sports family, I'll give you some recommendations for that because this is
Ooh.
something I never thought of, and I did it a couple sorry, last year. It felt like a couple years ago, but it was just last year to be honest. We had a baseball tournament naturally happening in
Yeah,
St.
yeah.
Catharines. St. Catharines, so it's like, well, where do you go? Where do you go and what do you do? And I was able to secure a rate, a room block for the team at none other than Great Wolf Lodge. I didn't even know they offered that. I didn't even know that that was a thing. And I got talking with them and I was just like, "Is this something like just available for anyone?" And they said, "Absolutely. If you reach out to the sales department, you can book a room block." But then it really got me thinking with a lot of these properties that we represent that more and more of these they're offering this. And I thought this is a perfect solution
Yeah.
because the older kids, they can go off and do whatever they want. The older kids, some of them went downtown to cause whatever ruckus downtown to Niagara Falls, go see the falls and yada yada yada. But the younger kids, the kids that are younger, like I was in the water park with them till it closed. And everybody was happy. And
Yes.
the kids are still doing the team dinners and everything else like that, and the kids are still off playing, But yet,
Yeah.
same time, later that evening, all the baseball team came back in the water park, so they're all there because who doesn't love a good water park, right? So,
Right?
so I'm just saying, like,
I
as a baseball family, like, planning your tournaments out, to just take a look at these resorts. Like, there's an opportunity
That's
that
a
you
great
could.
idea.
Yeah, there's an opportunity, again, instead of just staying at, and I'm not knocking any chain hotels by any means, I'm just saying, other than just there's experiences at these resorts you could probably get for almost the same amount you're gonna pay at these other, hotels that are available in every city.
You know what? I totally agree, and I never would have thought of that, so I'm really happy that you brought that up, and I too have stayed at Great Wolf Lodge. It was before Marcus, entered the world, but I remember going with the girls when they were little, and we had so much fun, and what I loved about it is that, like you said, you're there, the resort has so much. It's like, I'm talking about endless hours of water park fun.
Endless hours.
The
Yeah,
kids and they have also a little area for the smaller kids, you know what I mean?
absolutely.
So
Yep,
it's good for kids of all ages. But then if you're just like, okay, you know what? We spent the day here at the water park, and now maybe for dinner we want to venture out and we want to go closer to the falls or
that's
see
right.
something like a different attraction. You have that option as well, and everything is so close. So I love that. You know what? I'm really, really happy that you mentioned um, thinking about that when you're like planning something, like whether it be like some kind of tournament, or I'm also a dance mom. So, those dance
You're busy.
comps, that
Oh,
would
yeah.
be so wicked.
Absolutely, wouldn't it, right?
Oh, I love that idea, Shane. Yes.
Now the
Um,
wheels are turning, see?
okay. I know, like, I don't even know what to say because I'm like, "Whoa, I could do this and I could do that. I should bring this up to the dance school. I should bring this up to the baseball team. Like, what do we do next?" Right?
You're
But my
welcome.
whole thing is that the whole point. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. But, like, for me, it's I just wanna jam in as much as I can with the kids, and if it means a weekend here or,
Uh-huh.
a day trip here or an overnight stay somewhere else, like, honestly, take some time to figure it out and plan. And that's what I love about the Resorts of Ontario website, is because you can go and you can pick and choose a place, a location to meet your needs. So if you're like, yeah, you know what? I want to cook all my meals and I want a beautiful beach that makes it, it look like I'm somewhere tropical. Then that's Long Beach Resort. Or if you're like, you know what? I don't want to lift a finger. I'm going to go to Fern Resort. Ontario is all inclusive. Or, you know what? I want the flexibility of bringing my own stuff to cook some meals and dining out. And maybe that's Horseshoe Resort and, staying slopeside where you get these beautiful condos, full kitchen, and then checking out their amazing restaurant, the Crazy Horse. So
Mhm.
I love that about you guys, Shane. And that's
Yeah,
why
we really have.
I use
Oh,
Resorts of Ontario all the time.
it is truly a great resource, and not to plug who I work for, but the fact of, like, if you're looking for a cottage, if you're looking for a hotel, if you're looking, like, whatever style accommodation you're looking for, and again, to break down what exactly you're looking for, it really breaks it down. I mean, I use it myself when I'm planning and looking at, like, again, baseball tournaments or wherever. It's just like, well, where are we going? What's close by? Like, I see who's around to see what I can do, because there's nothing like, you can't beat an Ontario cottage experience. You can't
Yeah.
beat
No, you can't.
those those memories that you're gonna get. Those, like, you cannot beat, like, that type of experience anywhere. You can't get that anywhere.
No, you can't. And my advice to all of you parents listening, that you're looking to make memories, you're looking to make the most of it. And I know I sound like I'm repeating myself, but that's like so big for me. You know what I mean? Like, I want to enjoy every moment with my kids, and I want them to look back when they're older and say, "Man, remember that time, mom joined us on the water trampoline and she went flying off and that was hilarious," or whatever it may be. But those are the moments we're going to remember, right? So, I think that
100%.
that is so important. And so my advice, don't jump on a plane. Explore what is around you. Jump in the car instead and road trip it, because you don't know what adventure awaits you. So Shane, if people want to learn more about Resorts of Ontario and they want to plan and then they need your help, where do they go?
Resortsofontario.com. has the best resources to
Well,
find everything. My contacts are there if you need a personal concierge. I can help assist if you're saying, I don't have time to look at all this stuff. I just want to know X, Y, and Z. Send me a quick message.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And for any of you guys that are like, Pina, I want to check out one of the places that you mentioned. Honestly, hit me up on Instagram. I have highlight reels from current trips, past trips of all these different resorts and destinations that I can share with you. And who knows, maybe I might have a promo code or two up my sleeve for one of these places. So don't be shy. I can be found at chic, CHIC underscore mama, MAMMA double M, because I'm Italian and that's how we do it. And I can help you out. So Shane, thank you so much for all the amazing tips and suggestions, because I can't wait to check out some of the places that you mentioned that I haven't been to yet. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Pina. It was a pleasure as always, and I hope you learned something, and can't wait to send you to some of these places we haven't done.
I can't wait either. So, but for now, we're gonna go offline now. I'm gonna go check them out and start planning, and maybe even some of those places without the kids after summer's over. Okay, after
Summer's over for sure.
Because Shane is not that dad, and I'm Pina Crispo, and I'm not that mom. Follow and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.